going to be using would be the good old Elecraft K3. And there are a lot of reasons that folks like to use the K3. Chief among them for a de-expedition is weight. The K3 only weighs 8 pounds. And when you're stuffing a whole lot of equipment into a shipping container that's going to be transoceanic shipped, weight counts. So they want the lightest and most effective rig, thus the K3. It also turns out that most of the people going on the de-expedition to Bouvet use the K3 at home, so they're familiar with the radio. They're also going to be taking some SPE amplifier, 1.5 and 2 kW amps. Again, size and weight were a factor when they picked these. The computers, of course, 12 laptops for 12 different stations. They're going to be using N1MM Plus software for logging. Of course, for FT8, they're going to use a WSJTX and a variety of other software for coordination, logging, and remote access. We've all heard the thing about for the want of a nail, the shoe was lost, for the shoe was lost, the horse was lost. Well, these small but very important station accessories are going to be taken along, and they're going to take multiple copies of these various accessories, because all you need is one adapter go out, one interface go out, and you're stuck. So they're going to be taking quite a bit of backup material. Also, they're going to be taking a GPS receiver. Think, why do they need GPS? Well, they want to get not so much for location, but for time syncing. You're going to have like 8 stations working different modes simultaneously. So when it comes to logging, they need to be able to pretty much parse the QSO entries almost down to the second. So that's why they use GPS time syncing.
And if they're using FT8 or digital modes, they'll need that.
I'm sorry?
If they're using FT8 or other digital modes, they'll need that.
That's another factor in it too. FT8 requires that plus or minus 2 seconds. Now, they leave nothing to chance. They just don't pack this stuff up and ship it to Port Stanley and hope it works. They've been working on this for over a year. And they've set up the antennas and tested them. They've set up the equipment. They've set up the tents, etc. They've even gone to a location in Norway that closely resembles the Bouvet beach situation and practice landing in their Zodiac boats and hauling the equipment ashore. You'll notice they don't use a pulley here. They're using this rubber ring. Why? A pulley is a mechanical device. And in that environment, they could have that break and then they're out of luck.
Well, you just said it's going to be ice covered and it ain't going to pull it when it's covered with ice.
Be, of course, it's near Antarctica, but they're just trying to make things as simple and reliable as possible. And of course, this is one of their tents they're going to be using. They're going to be using vertical antennas on the lower bands. DX Engineering has donated those. And this is a summary of their antenna farm. They're using 4 2-element tri-banders, 3 2-element WARC dual banders, and also they're going to be using the triplexer, diplexer systems. And then they'll have verticals on 160, 80, 30, and 40. And of course, they're going to be taking backup parts, materials, and spare antennas just in case. And they got all this together at this location. It's actually a club station in Norway where they set everything up to test it. They tested everything, including the tents. And, excuse me. The first thing they're going to do when they get on the island is set up the tents. Yeah. Set up shelters. The last thing they'll do before they leave the island is take the tents down. They always want to have shelter available because the weather can change very, very quickly.
Southern Ocean.
The tents are made by a Norwegian company. I looked up the company. These tents run about anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000 a piece. They're taking 3 of them. And as mentioned, one's gonna be the operating tent like this, another one a sleeping tent, and another one will be a social tent. I don't think they're taking the barbecue along, but, there'll be a tent for meetings, dining, etc.
Probably a barbecue, just not that barbecue.
For power generation, they're using a Hyundai 6,000 watt or 6 kW diesel generators. They're taking 4 of them. Originally going to use Yanmar, a Finnish company, generators. For some reason, they switched to the Hyundai. And they're also gonna protect the generators with this framework, and they'll put tarps over it to protect it from the weather. As mentioned, Dr. Bill, Dr. Mike, Dr. Otis, and this is the, some of the small portion of the medical equipment they're gonna be carrying with them. They're also gonna carry a triage, or operating triage kit. I'm not sure what all includes in that. Terry, you might know what.
They're cold weather stuff, so there's no telling what they've got in a cold weather triage. Heat packs,
that would-
mask, compression pants, and all kinds of stuff.
I would imagine they could do minor surgery if need be, but they're taking a goodly medical kit.
They've got, since they're gonna be on ice, they've gotta be concerned about fall, so they'll have
It's gonna be volcanic
Philadelphia
soil.
collars and